Hi, welcome back to the channel. I am Ember and I am finally home. It is Friday. I have been to 3 ATEEZ concerts this week in 2 different cities, but I have arrived back home now and I wanted to talk a little bit about everything that happened, and I will include footage here and there of different things that I did. So the idea was to go down to London on Monday and stay until Wednesday and watch the 2 concerts on Monday night and Tuesday night. Then on Wednesday, I was going to come back home, stay a night here, and then on Thursday, travel up for the Manchester concert, stay overnight, and then come back on Friday today. And that is what I have done. Just about. Not everything went as planned, but I am still really, really happy, and it was just the best experience. I'm so excited. Firstly, if you are here and you found my channel because I put my little socials card in a freebie and you got one of my freebies, I am so sorry. Literally 2 days before I was meant to go to the concerts, my Twitter account got automatically suspended. I feel like everyone needs to hear this anyway. My Twitter account got suspended. It was like an automated thing. It thought I was a bot. I don't know why. I don't spam hashtags or, in weird interactions. I don't do anything silly, so I'm really sorry about that. But I am still on YouTube and TikTok at the moment. I am still posting my fan fiction, The Shifting Seas, on Archive of Our Own, so if you're keeping up with that, I'm not able to tell people on Twitter when I've updated it, but I am updating it, so please keep an eye out on that. But yeah, that's why I'm not on Twitter posting all my clips and stuff like that, is because I'm not there at the moment. People can't find my account. So on Monday, I traveled up to London with a couple of friends, Cookie and Bee, and we checked into our hotel, and it was really convenient. It was 1 tube stop away from the O2. We could get to the O2 in like 10 minutes. It was really, really great. I would say less than 10 minutes. On the first day, we had seats. We had seated tickets with a really good view from the side. We were really close. And when we got there, I think we had some time to like mill around and hand out freebies. So I was handing out my freebies. So many people said they saw the video on TikTok for my freebies, which was really great. Some people said they saw it on Instagram, and I was like, I don't use Instagram. I mean, I use it for like group orders, but I don't post stuff on there, although maybe I should start. I don't know. But I think someone might have shared my TikTok on Instagram because people said they saw it there too. So that was really exciting, and I definitely got a lot of freebies. I have posted a TikTok going through all the freebies that I received as well. Some of my favorites I've got here, but I've got like this really nice songware card in like a customized top loader. I have a little mini picket for your sang. There were people handing out like photo strips and things like that. I got a Het Monkey cookie. Someone made a cookie to look like Het Monkey. These are some of my favorite key rings. I got a Songwa key ring and your sang keyring. It's double-sided, so there's this image as well. We have some amazing art that was upside down. Amazing art that was drawn by people as well. Atiny are so talented. It is unreal. We have these as well. I mean, these are just like my favorites of what I received. Photo cards by the millions. Some of them are official, some of them are not official, and they're fan made. They're all adorable, really, really cool. So again, there's some art ones in there that people have drawn. People made bracelets, loads and loads of freebies. It was like freebie extravaganza going on across all 3 days, honestly. So thank you to everyone who gave me a freebie and put that effort into it. Thank you to the people who enjoyed the freebies I gave. That was super cool. We didn't go to the pop-up on Monday, the pop-up store with the merchandise, because it was the last day that they were running it. So they ran it all weekend and we were getting there on Monday on the last day. So I actually was in a group chat for some Atiny that were going to the concert, and someone offered to go to the pop-up for me at the weekend and get some stuff for me, which they did. One of the things is this jersey, which I'm in love with. It does say ATEEZ on the back as well. I also got this magnet for the UK. It's got London and Manchester and ATEEZ at the top. and I asked for 3 of these little tiny hats that go on the Atiny light sticks. 2 were for my friend and 1 was for me. So they're just like little ATEEZ hats. I was able to meet up with this person to get this stuff, but you do get bonus photo cards for spending a certain amount of money. And I have tried on like 4 different days to meet up with this person to get the cards, because when they gave me this stuff, they did not give me the cards. And I didn't realize until I got back to the hotel. And ever since then, I have been like bending over backwards, trying to be super flexible, give multiple options to try and meet up with this person when it's convenient for them in London, in Manchester, anything. It's been a whole mess. So they've still got my bonus photo cards. Hongjun and Yosang were my pulls for that, for the pop-up photo cards, but I don't have them yet. I am working really, really hard to get them, but it looks like they're going to have to be mailed to me at this point. But those are the things that I got from the pop-up on Monday without actually going myself. The jersey as well did come with like a bonus photo card, which I think is, yeah, it's this one. It's like a group photo card. So that's really nice. We did then go to Atiny Zone as well. Because we had seated tickets, we had a lot of time to just mill around and do what we wanted. So we went to Atiny Zone and got our 2 free photo cards. I got really, really lucky. I pulled Mingi and Yosang. Really happy with that. We didn't realize that we could do it at every stop. I thought it was like once per membership. So like, oh, you've got a membership, like a paid membership. In that case, you can do Atiny Zone once, like across all the stops. Turns out you can do it for every stop. We did not do it on VIP day, which was day 2, because the queue was so long and our time was limited. So I only did Atiny Zone on day 1 of London and in Manchester yesterday. But this was the pulls from that on Monday. And then we basically queued up and went in. We had a great time. I had my kind of outfit on that I posted on TikTok. I also took my mini Hetmongi plushie with me, and I decorated my Lightini with like this tech deck wrap to make it like Yosang Hetmongi coloured and match the hat. He's got his little face, and then I put rhinestones all around it to make it sparkly. So I customized it. It was really nice. It was an amazing view, and it was just absolutely amazing to hear Halazia live and Wave live. You guys know that those 2 have been on my bucket list to hear them live. Like, it's just been something I've needed to do. I think the first time I heard Halazia, I was like, wow, you know, this would be a great song to hear live. It's really been kind of a dream for me, especially since Wave is the first ATEEZ song I ever heard, and I have such a strong sentimental attachment to it. To hear it live and to sing it along with ATEEZ is, oh, I cannot put into words how amazing it is. I also loved Eternal Sunshine, Utopia, all the really kind of sentimental songs were just amazing. The one that surprised me was Win, because it's a song that I don't listen to very much normally day to day, and it's not one really, I don't think, have I reacted to it on the channel? I don't think so. I think I just kind of gloss over that one, and I've not really paid it too much attention. It's fine, but it's just not been one that I play all the time. But since hearing it live, I'm kind of obsessed with it. I heard it on the Monday and it just got stuck in my head. And I was just so, by the time we got to the Manchester show, I was just so excited to hear it again. I was like, I need to hear it live like one more time. So that one was really great as well. All the songs were amazing. Their energy was amazing. Just like with Korea on stage, Yosang and Songhwa are my biases, but every time I see them live, you know, Bias wrecks the fuck out of me. He just loves to perform so much. I mean, I'm sure they all do, but like, you can see, you know, like feeds off of it. He is so bouncy. He is like a puppy on stage. He is dancing all the time. He is having fun. He is smiling. He is just like, the energy that he has is insane. And if I can find clips to kind of show what I mean, I will be kind of putting them in. Absolutely amazing energy. So I did find, like, I was recording Yosang and Songhwa, and then I'd see, you know, bouncing around, and I'd be like, just got to record, for a little bit. It was just so sweet to see him have so much fun with it. Then after that concert, I did meet up with the person to get the pop-up stuff that night. And then we went back to the hotel. I think I got into bed at like half midnight, 1 o'clock. And we had to get up at, oh God, 5 just before 5. And because I was so hyped from the concert and so nervous about the next day, I got like 2 hours sleep max. And then me and my friend Cookie were doing a VIP. So we got up at 5, and at like 5:30 we went to the Tube, and we were queuing basically from around 6. And we got to the queue, and it was really great actually. It was really well organized. I had a teeny VIP, and it was fucking cold. It was so freezing. It was raining. It was dark. Atiny in the queue were lovely. We had maybe like 30 to 35 people in front of us. There was someone doing like a fan numbering system, and I think it worked because the staff of the venue honored it. So we all just kind of wrote down our name and were given a number on our hand. And then when the staff venue came out, they just kind of said, yeah, whoever's here is here, it's fine. And they kind of kept us in that order. So it worked for that reason. Whereas if the staff had turned up and said no fan-made queues, then I think it would have been chaos. I was freezing my ass off, and there was an Atiny that let me like borrow her stool to sit on so I wasn't on the floor. There was an Atiny that gave us like a heat blanket, one of those metal insulated blankets. They were just really lovely. We ended up going with one of Cookie's friends, bought like hot drinks and hot food for us and stuff. So the queue part in the morning was miserable and tiring and cold, but everyone in the queue was so lovely. We did more freebies, obviously, giving out freebies and stuff like that. And then around 10 o'clock, they opened the venue and escorted us to the entrance, and then we queued more and we were just sitting. We got checked in, we got given our VIP gift bag. We were then given our official wristband, and we were told we could go away and come back at like 3 or something like that for sound check. So we came back, we queued some more, we queued for a really long time. And then we got led in and we had to queue again for like the 5th or 6th time. While we were waiting to go into sound check in that final queue, there was a merch like stand there, and it was selling stuff from the pop-up that was actually like sold out at the pop-up. So I ended up getting the windbreaker jacket. There was one left, and it was like the display one. It does fit me. I was really, really happy. And I got that, and it came with this photo card of which I love. And I also got the earmuffs and gloves set. So this is the earmuffs. It's got Mito, and it says ATEEZ on the top. And then we've got the gloves as well. They're fingerless gloves, but then they can turn into mittens with this bit at the top. So I got those from the merch stand, and I got 3 bonus photo cards for spending £150 because the windbreaker's fucking expensive. Well, it's all fucking expensive. And one of them was, so Cookie claimed it because that's her bias. The other one was Uyang, and that's bias, so I gave that to her. And then the third one was Hongjun, and I was like, okay, you know what? I've got a photo card from the pop-up. I'm happy. I was like, I'm gonna get the Hongjun and the Yosang from the person that bought stuff for me anyway, but at least for now I know I've got Hongjun. I've secured it, and I put it like in one of the bags that I had. We were finally let into the arena, and Ultimate were obviously already in front of us. There were like 2, maybe 3 rows of people already most of the way around. There was no barricade spots at all, not even close. So they definitely sold a lot of Ultimate. And bear in mind, there were like 30 Atiny VIP in front of me. So I was like as close to the front of the VIP queue that I think I could be without staying overnight. So I got a really good spot for the Atiny VIP queue, but you still wouldn't have gotten barricades. So they sold a lot of Ultimate for the space that they had at barricade. But that's fine, because I didn't go into it expecting to get barricades, so I wasn't disappointed or anything. But we got in there, and I was maybe 4 rows back. I was bricking it. You guys know that all of this is out of my comfort zone already. I barely leave the house with my agoraphobia and my anxiety and stuff. So all of this is already out of my comfort zone, traveling down to London, staying in a hotel, talking to new people, socializing. It's all out of my comfort zone. I was already stressed. But to be in a pit surrounded by people that were screaming, because bear in mind that triggers, like, that's an aggressive thing for me, even though I know they're not angry. The anxiety, it's like a trigger for like aggression, right? Like I feel it, just, I don't know, it sets off my anxiety because it feels aggressive. So I'm surrounded on all sides by groups of people that I there's like no escape, and it's like there's so much screaming, and I was really freaking out. It was really hot in there. Our feet were already really painful from like a lot of the queuing we had to do where they didn't let us sit. We did sit in the pit for a little bit, but there wasn't much room to do that. And then eventually they did want us to stand up, and it was still half an hour until the concert began, and they wanted us to stand up. So it was just like really difficult. Really fucking difficult. I think that was probably the closest I came to having like an actual panic attack at that point, was just before sound check, and that everyone was like screaming at the music videos and stuff, and I was like, oh, I need to get this under control. So I tried some like breathing techniques and stuff like that. Once sound check started, I was like almost on the verge of tears, and I was trying so hard not to cry while they were on stage doing the sound check, because I didn't want them to think that I wasn't having a good time if they saw me, or that I was like one of those fans that like they're so emotional that they're just like blubbering because they see them. I didn't want them to see me basically be upset in any way. So I was like holding it together. I was literally shaking the entire time. We were allowed to record sound check, so I have clips from it. They did 3 songs: Work, Bouncy, and something else. I don't remember. I'll have to check the footage, and the footage will be shaky as hell because I was just like trembling the whole time. I was so like freaking out. Everyone was like so loud, and I was just surrounded. It was so difficult for me. It was like such a challenge. And as soon as they left, I was like, I really need to cry. So I sat down, and that was when we were able to sit for a little bit, and I was just like crying on the floor and like freaking out quietly. And Cookie was great. She sat with me quietly while I like helped work through it and went through my breathing stuff. And then by the time the concert started, I was actually getting it in control, and like the fear response wasn't as bad. So I got the anxiety under control, and I was really having fun. I was loving the concert. It was great. Those of you who have seen the title to this video know what's coming, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but I think it's the kind of thing that's important to talk about, so we're going to do it. It was great. The only issue was that because we were like 4 or 5 rows back, we were basically in the middle of the pit at this point, or maybe like a third of the way into the pit, right? So we weren't close enough to the front to even see security, let alone talk to them or ask for anything. And we were really far from the security at the back or any way out. We were basically like surrounded, right? So what was happening was the security were coming out with water, cups of water, but they were never getting to us. I don't know if it was the people at the front were just drinking it and then drinking it and then drinking it. I don't know. Or if it was getting past like 2 rows back, 3 rows back, and it just never made it to us. But we asked for water, and they were like, oh, we're getting more, and we put our hands up for it, and about half an hour went by and we still didn't have any water. So I was really dehydrated, because you're not allowed to take water in with you, and if you try to buy it from the merch stand, I think it was like £4.50 for a bottle. So we were just like, you know, we'll be fine, we'll have to deal with whatever we get from the cups. We assumed we would get free water from the staff, and it just never made it back to us. So I did so well for most of the concert. I was enjoying it. My anxiety was under control. And I just kept thinking, like, I'm really thirsty and my feet really hurt. But you know what? This is amazing. We did have one of the happy songs where I held up the sign that I made. For those of you who don't know, I made a sign for your sang that says he's the best Doberman. It's got a crown and a heart and everything. I use a black glitter card, so it's all sparkly. And I wanted to hold it like this because I don't want to obviously raise it above my head, because I have an idea of concert etiquette. And I had 2 aims. Either one would have made me happy. Either your sang sees it and he smiles, or one of the other members sees it and they disagree in some way, because the members do often call him a Maltese and say that he's not a Doberman, and they fight against that. So I wouldn't have minded if any of the other members saw this and was like, no, 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 or something like that. So that was the aim, was to get someone to notice it. And I held it up like this during one of those happy songs. And Yosang actually came to stand right in front of us on the corner. So Cookie grabbed my wrist and like shoved the sign in the air so that he could see it. And according to her, he saw it and smiled. I did see him look our way and smile, but I didn't know if he was looking at the sign or not. But apparently she has it on camera. So that's really, really nice. That made me really happy. I did hear Halazia and Wave, all the songs that I love. I sang along. It was great. And like I said, I was just standing there like, I'm really thirsty. My feet are killing me, but this is so worth it. It's great. We then get to quite far into the concert. I survived most of the concert. And one of the VCRs, they were taking a break. Thank God ATEEZ were not on stage because I would have fucking died. But they had gone backstage to, you know, have a break, get changed, to do what they need to do. And one of the VCRs was on the screen. And Cookie was feeling really dizzy and not feeling great. So she like crouched down and she was holding on to me. And I was like, yeah, I don't feel great either, actually, you know. I feel really hot. I don't feel good. And I started to feel lightheaded. And I was just looking up at the screen, like watching the VCR and like, oh man, this kind of really sucks all of a sudden. As soon as they're not like here to distract me, I'm like, yeah, I'm really suffering. In the time it took Cookie to stand up, right, from crouching, like we're talking 5 seconds, I went from feeling absolutely fine, but just like really thirsty and my feet hurting, to, oh, I don't feel great at all. I feel really sick and nauseous. And I feel really dizzy now, actually. And everything started to get like, I was starting to stumble and I was so dizzy out of nowhere. And Cookie was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I need to get out now. I think I'm going to fall over. And then literally the next thing I know, I'm staring at the ceiling and there's loads of faces all around me just looking down at me. And I was so confused. I have never fainted in my life. I've never been unconscious. I've never been under general anesthetic. I have never lost consciousness against my will. Okay. I've only ever like gone to sleep when I've wanted to go to sleep. So the idea of someone just losing control of their consciousness and their body out of nowhere instantly has always seemed really weird to me. And I've never been able to imagine what that's like to just suddenly be gone, you know? I understand that feeling now because I don't remember falling over, getting like sleepy or anything. I just remember feeling dizzy and sick, and then I was looking at the ceiling. It was like I teleported in time. It was so weird. And I was really confused. I had no idea what was happening. I didn't know who I was. And I thought I was dreaming. I was like, this must be a dream, but I don't remember finishing the concert or going back to my hotel. I was so confused. And then someone said, you fainted. And they were like fanning me. And I was like, oh my God, I was mortified. I sat up immediately and people were like, no, 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 don't rush or anything like that. The Atiny at the front were like calling for security and a security guy came and helped me up because I still barely even knew my name. I was really out of it. And he took me backstage to like the medical wing where it was so much cooler. Oh, it was so cool. They had the water there. That's where they were getting the water from. And I literally went through like 5 cups of water in one go. I was so thirsty. At the time, I was really embarrassed and mortified. And it was just like not what I wanted at all, obviously. The only bright side I could see of it was that it wasn't a moment where ATEEZ were on stage and they didn't, you know, I didn't draw any attention to myself in that way, just from the people around me. But it did mean that I dropped my phone and my sign and my bags. So we're coming back to that in a little bit. So Cookie came with me to the medical bay at the time and she was not doing great either. So I think that helped her. Grabbed my phone and sign and brought that back, thank goodness. And we basically just sat in the medical bay drinking water and cooling down. I cried almost immediately because not only was I embarrassed and everything, but I didn't want to miss any of the songs. And they had come back out at that point and they were doing Work and then the medley with fireworks and stuff like that. And I was just really gutted that I was missing part of it, and I was trying to get sorted as soon as possible to get back out there, because the idea of missing Utopia, which is the last song, or Dreamy Day, which was the second to last song, was like really gut-wrenching to me, even though I'd seen them the day before. So I did cry. I was really like unhappy with myself and what happened. The medical team and the staff were amazing. The lady back there was so lovely to me, and she was talking to me about how often it happens. I was not the first person in there either. There were people in there like when I was taken in. She was saying even the staff pass out sometimes and stuff like that. Like, it's just really difficult. And you could see that the security people were constantly going back and forth with cups of water. Like, it was all they were doing all night was going back and forth with water. It's just that when you're in the kind of 4 rows back kind of area and beyond, you're just not going to get any. So it wasn't their fault at all what happened, and they managed it really, really well. It's just unfortunate that I didn't get any water for like 3 hours in that situation, and being surrounded by people and the body heat and the fire from stage and being standing for so long and stuff, it was just all really bad combinations, honestly, really, really bad. So I did end up getting to go back out. I did not go back to my original place. We went to kind of the back where GA was, and we got out just in time for the end of Dreamy Day, and they'd done their goodbye ment and everything like that, and they were performing Dreamy Day as we came back out, and then we saw Utopia to finish. And honestly, it was a good view. On day one, when I was sitting in the seats looking down at the pit, and I said to Cookie, I was like, I don't get why people buy GA tickets, because if you're going to stand, you probably want to be as close to the front as possible. So if you're going to be at the back, why wouldn't you just get a seat? And honestly, standing at the back was really good for Utopia, because you can put your phone up as high as you want. Nobody is behind you. You can put your sign up as high as you want, and you're not that far away from the stage. When you're up in seats, it looks like you're really far away down there, right? But you're really not. So I did have a really great view for that, and I did scoop up some confetti afterwards. I've got a bag of confetti here, mostly green, but some blue and yellow as well. I am sending some of this to one of my friends. They went to VIP in Manchester, so they have the confetti from Manchester, which is like purple, red, something else. So I'm sending them some of this, and they're sending me some of the Manchester confetti, so that we have confetti from both. I also saved one of the streamers. These are like massive ribbons that get shot into the air at 2 different points in the concert. I saved one of those as well. You get drowned in them when you're in VIP. It's crazy. So those are all, I'm going to make like a keepsake box for this week that I've had, and a scrapbook in there as well. And all of this is going in like the keepsake box and scrapbook. But yeah, looking back now, it was honestly fine. It was like a 10-minute blip that maybe wasn't ideal and wasn't a great experience, and I missed a couple of songs, but I got back out in time for like the songs I really wanted to see. I had a great view. Obviously at the time I did not feel that way. I felt confused, tired. I injured my tailbone, and it hurt so badly that I thought I might have fractured it. And obviously you guys know I have a phobia about bones. So I started freaking out, thinking that I had a broken bone, and I was like, I would rather be dead. Literally, I cannot have a broken bone. So I started freaking out about that. I do not have a broken tailbone. It is just bruised. It is still sore, but we are getting better. But that sucked too. So I was not in a great place afterwards. And we then tried to meet up with this person from the pop-up again, and we were outside in the cold for like half an hour, and they just didn't turn up again, and it was so frustrating because of everything that had happened. So I literally went back to the hotel and just cried. I bawled my eyes out. I sat on my bed with some snacks and had a bed picnic, and I put on the TV and I had Pointless Celebrities on because it was like the only thing on at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't want to think about the concert because all I could think about was the fact I fainted and how embarrassing it was. I felt like it had ruined not only that entire show but also the day before, because I really was looking forward to this week and I'd planned it all out in my head how I wanted it to go. Obviously I didn't want it to go like that, so for me I just kept thinking like I want to restart the week and do it again and try and do it better. And I felt like not only had I failed and kind of set this challenge for myself of something that I knew would be difficult. I knew all of this week would be difficult, but VIP, especially a standing ticket, being surrounded in the pit, I knew it was going to be challenging for me on so many levels, but it was a challenge I wanted to take on. And then I felt like I failed it, and I felt like I had failed myself. And even though I know that ATEEZ do not know when fans faint, and they, it's not a big thing for them or anything, I still felt like I failed ATEEZ as well, and that I was a bad fan. And I was beating myself up so bad that night. It was awful. And I said I didn't want to go to Manchester. I was like, I don't even want to listen to their music right now. I can't think about anything to do with ATEEZ. I was completely broken by it, and I was so stressed. Complete drama queen at the time. Yeah, it wasn't great. So yeah, I bruised my tailbone. I did not have any other injuries. Honestly, looking back, it could have been a lot worse because it is like a concrete floor. I did hear that the Atiny around me were amazing. I am partially aware of this myself, but I was very confused and out of it at the time. But the Atiny around me not only were quick to make room for me, apparently there was a girl kind of near me who kind of caught my head as I went down so that I didn't split my head open, which honestly, I am so thankful to her. I will never know who she is. But the fact that she saved me from hitting my head as I went down and kind of helped to kind of cradle me down as I was going down is probably like one of the reasons why I'm not more injured than I was. So I'm really, really grateful to her. And yeah, everyone made space for me. They were fanning me. The people near the barricade were calling for security as quick as they could. Ada got my phone unsigned. Like, everyone was so lovely and kind of, really trying to help. I felt so bad for them. I was like, I hope I didn't ruin anybody's experience. And just like, oh God, she's fainted. But they were all so lovely and sweet. And one of the people around me also added me on TikTok after and were like, hey, are you okay? I saw what happened. So they were all lovely and very kind, but I felt awful. And yeah, it took a lot for me to readjust my mindset, and it took kind of talking to my friends online and on Discord and my family when I came home on Wednesday to kind of readjust my mindset and be like, actually, why am I letting 10 minutes, kind of affect how I feel about all the other good memories? Because even VIP, I had great memories, so many great memories and great footage, and I'm still glad I did it. And I learned, like, if I were to do it again, I know what I would do differently. I would be like where I was for sound check, and then I would just move to the back where I can get water easier, I can sit down, I can still hold my phone up and stuff. It was a great view. So that's what I would do differently next time, is just like do Atiny VIP for sound check and then just move to the back and be GA, and I would be fine with that. Just to not be surrounded by people and stuff too and being pushed everywhere. I think it would be a good way to still be able to experience VIP and get the goodies and stuff like that. So it was a learning experience, but I did have to readjust my mindset because I really beat myself up about that. I think one of the things I was worried about as someone who is a people pleaser and who cares a lot about what people think about them was wondering what the people around me were thinking, because there are a lot of assumptions made about people who faint at concerts. One being that they're faking to try and get the group's attention, which obviously I would not do. I do not want to be perceived by ATEEZ. When I won the fan call with Yasang trying to get the photo cards for that lucky draw event, I freaked out and had to be convinced to do the fan call because I was like, I do not want to be perceived. I am not the kind of person that hopes to bump into them in the street or in a restaurant. I wouldn't approach them if I saw them. I'm just not that kind of person. But people who don't know me don't realize that, so they might have thought I was just faking for attention. However, I do think I was quite lucky in that regard as well, that ATEEZ weren't out on stage when that happened, because if I was doing it for attention and faking, I wouldn't have chosen that moment. So I think that, hopefully people realize that that was just like, I was genuinely, I hurt myself. I hurt my tailbone because I dropped so fast. I would not, that's not faking at all. And both cookies said that they were barely hanging on and were about to pass out too. And I just happened to be I took one for the team. I was like the first one to go. But then also there is the assumption that people who faint, like genuinely faint in the pit, haven't taken care of themselves for the day. They didn't drink any water because they don't want to have to pee and lose their spot, stuff like that. And again, people who don't know me may have thought that that was me, like, oh, I'm a bigger girl as well, maybe I didn't hydrate enough, stuff like that. But actually, we worked hard all day on making sure we stayed like hydrated and fed. We went to Costa like 3 times that day. We had water with us right up until we were going into sound check. We just made sure to use the restrooms like multiple times throughout the day. So we did really well at being hydrated until we went in. It's just that 3 hours in that environment without any water, you're gonna feel it. I was not dehydrated when I went in. I felt absolutely fine, but I just did not get any water for the entire concert. So I think that's where it went wrong. But I was kind of worried what people would think, especially since there was a guy and his friend standing next to us at the beginning who was talking. He was saying that someone fainted near him the day before and that they also had anxiety. And I remember like sitting there thinking like, well, I have anxiety, but at least I won't faint because I've never fainted in my life. And then I fainted. But I think the thing is, I was so worried about like if I ruined anyone's experience around me or, you know, was troublesome or anything like that. But I think if you're the kind of person who sees someone having a medical emergency, or it's not an emergency, I wasn't going to die, but I'm going through something in a medical sense, right? And you're more concerned about how it's bothersome for you rather than worrying about the person who is going through that medical crisis. I think that says a lot more about you as a person. So even though I don't know if anyone was annoyed by it, and maybe nobody was, if they were, I think that says more about them than me. So I think, again, readjusting my mindset on that was really helpful. And this is why I wanted to talk about it, is because people say, like, if you're going to faint, then you shouldn't get those kind of tickets and stuff like that. And it's like, well, nobody goes in there planning to faint. Like genuinely faint, not fake faint, you know what I mean? People who genuinely faint, they do not plan to do it. It's not something you can do on command. And that, you know, I'm someone who did take care of themselves all day and stayed hydrated and stuff. And it really is just a really, I mean, people who've done pit, they know, right? It's a really intense, hot environment. It's cramped. People are pushing. Your feet are already hurting before you get in there. And if you just don't get any of the water that's being passed out, you know, there's not really much you can do. Again, in hindsight now, I know that I would go to the back. But as soon as I didn't feel well, I said, we need to get out. And it was not enough time. I was gone. So when you faint, I did not realize how quick you go. You go from feeling fine to being on your back in like 30 seconds. So I as soon as I was like, yeah, we need to get out of here, it was too late. So, you know, I think just being patient with people who are going through that is definitely important, because sometimes you do everything right and it still happens, you know? I'm trying not to dwell on it too much. It was like a blip. It wasn't really what I wanted for that show. But thankfully, I did go to 3 concerts in 1 week. So the parts that I missed work and the medley. I did see them on the other 2 days, so it's fine. And I got some great footage still, and Yasang saw my sign, and I got confetti, so it was fine. But yeah, that night I was devastated. I was like crying on my bed. I was like, I don't have my pop-up photo cards. Everyone is frustrating me. I fainted. I'm an embarrassment. I'm a failure. I'm a bad Atiny. So the next day, Wednesday, I tried to meet up with the girl again before I left to go back home. It did not happen. Then I traveled back home. Cookie drove me home. I saw my parents. It was great. I had a chat with them. I readjusted my mindset. My friend convinced me to go to the Manchester concert, so I got packed. I slept. I got up really early, and then off I was to Manchester. I got the train this time, traveling by myself and meeting Cookie and Bee there. It's my first time going to Manchester. I don't get public transport very often. It was my first time getting a train where I had to change and get 2 different trains. So again, these are all like challenges I'm not used to, right? I went up quite early. I think I arrived sometime after 11, but I couldn't check into my hotel until 3. So the arena, the station, and the hotel were all within like less than 5 minutes of each other. Like I could see the arena and the train station from the front door to my hotel. They were so close. So I arrived and I left my bag with the hotel so that I could just go shopping, which is why I got there early. I did go to the main pop-up. Again, it was the last day, I think, for that. I was so done with trying to get my bonus photo cards at this point. Oh, that's the other thing. The reason why I was so done is, you know, the Hongjun that I was talking about that I put in my bag, and I was like, well, if no matter what, at least I got one photo card, right? I don't have my Hongjun and Yasang yet. I didn't get the Yuno, I didn't get the Uyang. At least I've got this Hongjun card. When I fainted, he must have fallen out of my bag. Or when I was outside, like trying to sort through my bag, he must have fallen out, because I do not have him and my friend does not have him. He's gone. He's somewhere near the O2, or a fan picked him up and took him. I don't know. So by this point, I had spent enough money at the pop-up merch store across 2 different days to receive 5 photo cards, and I had 0. And as a photo card collector, it was hurting me because the main reason I was buying this merch, the merch is great and I did want it, but the main reason I was spending so much money was to get the photo cards, and I've received 5, and at that point I had 0. It was so frustrating. So I arrived early in Manchester and I was like, I'm going to the pop-up. I have a little bit of spending money left over. I am going to buy £100 worth of stuff and get 2 photo cards, and I am going to secure them and they will be mine. And that's just it. That was my plan. So I went to the pop-up. I ordered on the app. I ordered the fan, the microphone keychain, Yasang's one, the red one, and 2 poster sets. So, or like postcard sets. So if you've seen my TikTok where I unbox the merchandise that I ordered online, I got a Yasang pack, and it had like stickers of him and postcards and a little mini poster. And I was like, I love this so much. So I got that for Songhwa and for Mingi, because Songhwa and Yasang are my biases, and Mingi is currently a bias wrecker. Specifically, boba-eyed Princess Soft Mingi. So he's been bias wrecking me, so I've been kind of getting his photo cards and posters and whatnot as well. So that's what I ordered from the pop-up, and I had to wait like an hour for my order to be ready. So I went to Kstars. This is a store that I have seen on TikTok and I have always wanted to go ever since I saw it. So not only were they doing the pop-up store at the museum that I placed the order at, they were also in their own store doing the lucky draw event that has been on Twitter. I am admin of a Twitter group that posts, I'm not going to say which one, but if you know me really well, then maybe you can guess. But it is a fan page for a couple of members of ATEEZ, and I am an admin that posts pictures on that page. So I have that Twitter on my phone. So while I've been suspended, I have actually had a Twitter account where I can look at stuff. I was able to see that Kstars were hosting a lucky draw event where you can get those photo cards, the exclusive, country exclusive photo cards where they're hugging. And I was like, I really want to do that. So I went to Kstars. The queue looked quite long, and I went to join it, and the guy was like, no, this is the cutoff for the queue. The queue continues across the street. And you cross the street and it went like all the way down. It was such a long queue, but I was like, I've got nothing else to do. I might as well. I joined the queue and it actually moved fairly quickly. I think I got inside within 45 minutes, which doesn't sound quick, but if you saw the line of the queue, you would think I would have been there longer. There was a group of girls in the queue that were so lovely and so sweet, and they were telling me about their biases and their bias wreckers and showing me videos on their phone of like the first 2 stops in London and stuff like that. They were really nice. So I ended up kind of latching onto them, I guess, and we were like a group for that because I was still on my own at this point. And I went into Kstars and did the lucky draw event, and I can't praise Kstars enough. It was such a nice store. It was really nice to be in, and it was so pretty, and the staff were amazing. They were so polite, even though they were dealing with hundreds and hundreds of people, loads of stuff going on. They were so polite and calm and on top of it. We got upstairs and we were given a freebie. Oh, I never showed you the windbreaker jacket, by the way. This is the windbreaker jacket. Hell yeah. Anyway, you get upstairs in Kstars for the lucky draw event, and you get given like one of these. It's like random member, but I got Songhwa, which made me really happy. This was like a nice little freebie. And then you get to the front, and if you just buy like 1 or 2 of the poker albums, then you get given a token that you put in a machine, and it will give you a random single photo card from a set. However, if you are a photo card collector like I am, then you will buy 16 polka albums. Okay, that gets you 2 sets of the singles, so 2 OT8 sets where they are doing the heart hands thing on their face. I got 2 sets of these. One for each album, 1 card for each album. For every 4 poker albums that you buy, you get 1 of these double-sided cards where they're taking a picture of each other. So in this one, is taking a picture. I mean, it's the same picture, right? It's these singles. So these singles, this is one hand is Hongjoon's, which is bandaged because that's after he injured it, and one is Songwa's. And then the same was like, Woo Young and San are both like one hand each. So these are like the behind the scenes of those pictures. So you've got taking the picture of Mingi using one of his hands and Mingi using his hand. And then on the other side, you've got Mingi taking the picture of where they're both using a hand to make the heart. You get 1 for 4 albums. So if you buy 16, you get the entire set of 4, which is what I have. I have and Mingi, San and Woo-young, Hongjoon and Songwa, and Yosang and Jongho. It was important to me. And you can see them on the phone too when they're taking the picture. You can see like they're actually on the phone. They're really nice photo cards, honestly. You also get, for every 4, I think, poker albums, you get a country exclusive. So in Manchester, it is and Mingi and Songwa and Hongjoon. So Mats and Yoongi basically have hug photo cards. I needed these. This is why I bought the poker albums. I needed to ensure that I got both of these. So I bought 16 of the albums to guarantee that I got all 4 of these. And that meant I got 2 sets each of these. I got 2 Youngis and 2 Mats. Now, one of these has gone to my friend Cookie. I do still have a spare Mats though. I don't need it, so that'll probably go for trading for something. The Barcelona ones are Jongho and Yosang and San and Woo-young. And they are the only 2 I need because the singles are the same. And these are the same. The only thing that's different in Barcelona is the hug cards. So I only need those 2. So I have a friend who is going to secure me 8 poker albums from the Barcelona pop-up so that I can complete the set, because being a photo card collector is fucking expensive. And I don't do it for everything they release, but when they release shit like this, I have to get it. Okay, I have to. The government assigned pairings are like my weakness. I did that. I went to Kstars. I bought the 16 poker albums. And I got all of the cards that I wanted. The girls in front of me were only getting like 1 each, and they were desperate for like their bias. So I said, you know what? I'm going to have a spare set of these singles that I'm just going to be trading anyway. If like you don't get your bias, just give me whoever you got and I'll give you your bias, because it's a spare set. I'm not losing anything myself. So 2 of them pulled their biases and they were happy. One of them pulled Songwa and they wanted Woo-young. So I've got my set, and now I've got a second set which is missing Woo-young, but I've got 2 Songwas because I gave them my Woo-young for their Songwa. I still got a whole bunch to trade, which is really, really nice. Then you can continue in the queue if you would like to buy a drink, and they had 8 drinks that they were making. They had like a fucking Costa corner going on where they were like selling drinks, and they were all themed for the member. Like there was like Hongjoon's was like Captain in the Blue or something like that. Okay, Hongjoon's was Captain in the Blue, Songwa's was Starhwa, Yuno's was Yu, Yosang's was Doberman. At first, you can see from the picture, I thought it was Doberman. And I said to the girls in front of me, I was like, am I really going to have to ask for a Doberman? But thankfully, it was just called Doberman. Buellberry was Sans, Mix-On was Mingi's. And I loved that pun, Mix-On for Mingi. It was great. That's a W for Woo-young, and Jongbear is Jongho's. and they were all themed. When you buy one of the drinks, and the drinks were so cheap too, it was like £3.50, and so they were like really reasonable in my eyes for like a proper full-size drink. I bought the Doberman one because even though it wasn't my favorite drink, I don't drink tea and I don't have caffeine or anything like that. It was a milk tea with like Oreo pieces on top of whipped cream. It wasn't my favorite, and honestly I would have gone for like the strawberry milk, which was Songwa's, or there was like a mango one or something, which I think was Mingy's. Yeah, any of the berry ones would have been more my thing. I like juices and smoothies and things like that. I'm not really a tea person, but the reason why I went with Yusang's wasn't just because he's my bias. I'm not going to drink a drink that I'm not a huge fan of for that reason. It was because you get a little freebie photo card for the member when you buy their drink. So I got this, which is absolutely adorable. And it says Kstars on the back, Manchester AO Arena, Thursday, 30th of January. So it's a really nice little keepsake as well from Kstars. And the drink was nice, actually. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I'm just not a tea person. I did some trading as well. I took my duplicate photo cards and someone just gave me this random Ouyang for one of the photo cards in my dupe box. I did do that a couple of different times. I even offered the person I've been trying for days to meet up with to get my photo cards from the pop-up. I offered to let them go through my box of dupes and just take what they wanted. I had like 30 dupes with me and I was like, you can look through if there's anything you want. There's pre-order benefits in there. You know, there's really difficult to get photo cards that cost me a lot of money, but I ended up with duplicates of them. I was like, you can just take what you want from that. I was so desperate to meet this person and get my 2 damn photo cards. I did do some trading, so that was really fun. Also, in Kstars, there is a place where you can write on the post-it notes and leave a message for ATEEZ, so I did that as well. And that was it. But honestly, I loved Kstars. It was amazing, really well organized. They were really on top of things. I loved it. It was so great. At this point, I went back to the Popup Store to collect my order. I just went in and asked staff and they were like, yep, your order's ready. You can just go on through. Almost immediately when I was in there, they had a TV at the back where they were playing ATEEZ music, and the music video for whatever song was playing was happening. And almost immediately when I went in there, the current song ended and it started playing Wave. And I was like, why does this feel like destiny? I don't know. It's something just because it's the first ATEEZ song I ever heard and I'm so sentimental about it. I feel like it just feels like it's meant to be that it came on. I don't know. It was really nice. So I had a look around the pop-up store. There was so much stuff in there. It was really amazing. I love to see it. Then I picked up my order. So I got the fan, which is this. I did get the red Yasang microphone, but I've already attached it to my key. It's my new key ring, which is now in my handbag, so I can't show you that at the moment. I did forget, though, I did also get this wrist strap for the Atiny that says ATEEZ at the bottom here. I really like it. It's quite thick fabric, so it's quite a nice quality item. I think I bought that. It's a Atiny strap. I think I bought it just to push me over the mark to get 2 photo cards. So that, the fan, and the keychain microphone, and then 2 of these packs that I told you about for Songwa and Mingy. They almost gave me pickets. She came over with this stuff and 2 pickets, one for Songwa and one for Mingy. And bear in mind, they're like this size, right? I've already got a Yosang one. And I was looking at them like, I think you might have gotten that wrong. I'm sorry. I ordered the photo sets. And she was like, oh, sorry. And she went and swapped them. I was like, what am I going to do carrying around these 2 pickets? So I did get the photo sets. I've not opened them yet to look in them. This is normally the kind of thing I do on my TikTok, but you know, we're rolling with it. We got the stickers and of course the member stickers, the photo card, and the photo postcard set. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Look. Okay. All right. Very nice photos, which is why I wanted more, because I saw your sangs were really, really great as well. So these are some lovely pictures that they be taking for these sets. And this is oh my goodness, this is the mini poster. So that is gorgeous. Like I said, my 2 biases and my current biggest bias wrecker. They all bias wreck me. I have 6 bias wreckers, but at the moment, Mingy is the biggest bias wrecker until concert time, and then it's, you know. And then this is Songwa's. We've got a pretty adorable looking photo card right here. The ATEEZ stickers, the member stickers, the forecut. Pretty. The postcard set. Gorgeous. They're so glossy too. They're really nice quality. I cannot recommend these sets enough, honestly. And then the mini poster. So I got those. Now, getting all of those things from the pop-up entitled me to 2 photo cards. So, bear in mind at this point, I've spent a lot of money on the merch. I've got the windbreaker, the jersey, the magnet, the freaking, oh, what else have I got? All the other stuff that I said. The mini hat, lightini things. I bought 3 of those. The earmuffs and glove set. And now I've got the microphone, these photo sets, the fan, the lightini strap, etc. Okay. I've bought a lot of stuff at these pop-ups. And I have 0 photo cards to show for it because I've given 2 away, I have lost 1, and 2 are currently being held hostage by someone I'm struggling to get in contact with. So I went and I was like, I'm getting these 2 photo cards and I'm not letting them go. They're going to be in like a vice grip until I get home. And I have them. I got them. And they are beautiful and they are worth it. I got Uyang and Mingy. I was really happy about this because if by some miracle chance I am able to get my photo cards from this person that I've been trying to meet up with for 4 days, those ones are Hongjun and Josang. So I would have 4 out of 8 members for the pop-up photo cards, and I think that's pretty good going. And then I went back to my hotel and I got checked in and I met up with Cookie and B, and we basically chilled outside handing out freebies. We went to Atiny Zone again. So the first day I did get Yosang and Mingy. The second day I got Uyang and Mingy. This Mingy is now a duplicate. Because I did get him on the first day. He is currently on hold. There is someone in the group chat that I was talking about who asked whether or not anyone had a spare Mingy that they would trade for a Songwa. And I was like, well, Songwa's one of my biases, so I would happily do that. When they get home, they're going to message me about that. So this will eventually turn into Uyang, Yosang, Mingy, and Songwa. And I'll get rid of my Mingy duplicate. So again, I think that's pretty good going for a teeny zone. Honestly, the highlight up until that point was the Kstars lucky draw event. It's my first lucky draw event. It was just really amazing. I had so much fun doing that. It was just like such a good experience. Then we get to the concert, and bear in mind I've had different experiences all week. So we had great seats on day 1 with that side view that was quite close. On day 2 we did VIP and were really, really close. And then this time we were further back in the nosebleeds, but we were like directly opposite the stage, like right at the top. You know, when you're looking like from the pictures that they take and stuff from the stage and you see the stadium and all the people, they look tiny up there, right? They look miles away. When I tell you, when you sit in that seat, it does not feel like you are miles away. You can see the stage so clearly. It's closer than it looks from the other direction, and you can see perfectly fine. I could use the screens if I wanted to get like a really close-up idea of their facial expressions. But if I just wanted to see what they were doing, I could see just fine, especially when they were on extended stage. Extended stage was quite close to us, in my opinion. So I loved the view that we had for this concert. It was brilliant. I loved it. It's not even like me trying to make the most or the best out of like a difficult situation. It was an amazing view. I really enjoyed yesterday's concert. I've definitely seen some people complain today that the group didn't have as much energy and they didn't seem like they really wanted to be there. I didn't feel that personally. I noticed a few of the things they were saying, like how Mingy didn't bark back and stuff like that, but he did do it the first 2 days, so he doesn't have to do it every time. I didn't really notice a lack of energy or like they didn't want to be there. We had Yuno bouncing around the stage like a puppy, again being hyperactive and dancing a lot. We had Uyang kissing Yuno on the cheek. We had San hugging Yusang at a certain point. We had Yuno calling Yusang a top lad. Uyang was so giggly as well yesterday, especially for like the Love Actually part and doing all of that with the signs. I really enjoyed that. And I love Love Actually as well. It is one of my favorite movies. So it was really great to see them reference that. So I think they had so much fun with it. And I didn't really get the same vibe that some people were saying they were tired and didn't want to be there. I wouldn't blame them if they were feeling like that, because 3 shows in a week is a lot. I am in pain. I am knackered. I am like so done in, and all I did was go to watch the show. So I can't imagine how performing it 3 times in a week must be like, and all the traveling they have to do. They're already in the Netherlands already. It's got to be exhausting for them anyway. But I felt like they had so much energy. It was one of the best shows for me. It was definitely much worse organized on the staff's part than the O2. The O2 were really well kind of prepared for everything, and it was done really well. The queues and the entrances, people had no idea what was going on. Staff were giving conflicting information. It was not the best run by the venue or anything. KQ staff had to get involved and have a fucking meeting about how they could help, and that should never have to happen. So it was definitely difficult, I think, and I think ATEEZ were probably aware of a lot of the difficulties that were happening. It does suck. I hope it doesn't kind of put them off wanting to try other places than London again in the future. But overall, I still think it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm really happy that they were able to perform 3 shows in the UK. I just hope it's not my last time seeing them. I really would like to see them again. Definitely one of the best experiences of my life has been this week. Knowing now that I've heard Halazia live, Wave live 3 times is insane. Utopia, the unit songs, you know, like there was so many songs. It was my first time hearing them live, and I've now heard them 3 times in 1 week. It was just absolutely amazing. And then that was it. You know, they said goodbye, and I said goodbye to Cookie and Bee, who were driving back because, you know, they lived not too far out. So they drove back, and I went back to my hotel. I tried again for the 4th day in a row to meet up with this person for the pop-up. And I was like, fam, I'm like 30 seconds away from the arena and the train station. I've got a super convenient hotel. It doesn't matter if it's 2 a.m. I'll come out and meet you, and, you know, it'll take 2 seconds to just get these photo cards. Didn't reply, and I ended up staying up late just in general to enjoy the vibe. I did not turn my light stick off. I just had the rainbow light on for like 2 hours after the concert, just like really enjoying that moment and just having the glow. The really nice moment. And then yeah, next day had my hotel breakfast, got checked out. I tried to go to Kstars again, but my train was at 11 and the Kstars opens at 11, so I wasn't able to go back in and check out the shop. But I would like to go back there again at some point if I ever find myself up near Manchester again. And then I headed home, and there was some delays with the transport and stuff, but I got back okay. I recorded a video on the freebies that I got to go on TikTok. And then I just thought I would make this video and just talk about the experience and everything that happened. Doing Atiny Zone on 2 different days, doing the pop-ups at various points and getting the kind of merch that I got, doing the lucky draw event at Kstars. Like, it wasn't just about the concerts, right? There was like so much going on. I got to meet up with so many cool people that I've spoken to online. I got to give out freebies to people who keepsake box, I guess, and it's going to have like a lot of the freebies that I've gotten and memories and stuff. I'm going to put a scrapbook in there and kind of go over some of the key moments after just like traveling everywhere. Sort out all my freebies, all of my official photo cards from the events, get them sleeved and in my binders, you know me. Put away stuff like this so that they're being kept nice and safe, ready for if I need them again. deciding where I'm going to put things. Over the weekend, I would like to sort through my videos, not just in order to help edit this video, but just in general. I'd like to make a keepsake video. That would be nice. I am, as I said, going to get like a big box and decorate it with ATEEZ stuff, and it's going to be my 2025 Towards the Light tour. The confetti that I've gotten is going to go in there. I'm also going to put a few pieces of confetti in my light stick to decorate the light stick. So just kind of going through all my clips and all of my merch and all of my memories, and just kind of really enjoying all of that after concert stuff. And then I'm back at work on Monday because gotta work, gotta make that money make purse, you know, I need to afford those next concerts. So yeah, that's it. That's my experience of doing 3 concerts in a week, doing VIP, passing out. I mean, kind of a lot of different experiences there. I definitely want to see them again. ATEEZ will always be my alt group. I love them so much. And I'm just like so grateful for the experiences that I've had this week. So much of it was like out of my comfort zone. And it's like there were so many different things that were challenging for me and that I wouldn't normally do, and I would normally really struggle to do, but I do them for ATEEZ and they give me that strength. And I had felt so bad about like everything that happened at the end of the show on day 2 where I passed out, and I did readjust my mindset. And then when I went to the Manchester show, one of the VCR moments where they are playing like text and stuff on the screen, one of the members, it might be Hongjun, I don't know, but one of the members is speaking, and he says something like, even if you confront challenges and fail, the light will show you the way. And then after a couple more seconds, he says something like, the light is always within you. And that just kind of made me realize that it's better to take on a challenge and fail it than just never try at all. The fact that in that show, even ATEEZ were framing challenges and failing to be a positive thing and to be proud of the fact that you tried really helped, like, you know, with my mindset about how I'm looking at things. So the fact I could do so many difficult things this week that were out of my comfort zone, physically, mentally, emotionally, I think that's a really good thing. And I think, I mean, I was going to say ATEEZ would be proud of me if they knew, but I think the important thing is that I'm proud of me. And, you know, I feel good about the fact that I did those things. And I may not be able to do them every day, but I know that I can do them and that I will do them for the right reasons. ATEEZ. So I don't know. They just really give me that strength. So yeah, I'm really glad I did everything that I did, and in the end I don't regret anything that happened. So yeah, if you went, let me know how the show went for you, what your experience was. If you saw me, hi. Thank you to the people around me on day 2 in the VIP section and everything they did to help me with that. And to the people in the queue in the morning who were like giving out the blankets and giving me the stool and stuff. Everyone was so lovely. I think Atiny in general are such a kind of we've got each other's back kind of fandom, and I really love that. As for getting back on track with things, again, my Twitter is still suspended, so you're not going to see me there for now. I know things have been slow uploading on the YouTube channel and Patreon, and that is because I have been so busy. I do have 2 episodes of The Heart Killers edited but not uploaded to Patreon yet, so I need to get those uploaded and put out for you guys. I think I've now also got 2 episodes of The Heart Killers I need to catch up on, one from the week before the concert and one for this week, so I will try and catch up with those. It probably won't be this weekend. I'm just trying to be transparent and realistic about setting expectations. It's not my priority to watch The Heart Killers this weekend, so I've only got like tomorrow and the day after, basically this weekend, to chill out and recover from everything before I go back to work. But I will catch up on those when I can. For K-pop reactions, I've not recorded anything recently, but my plans are still, I need to do another Only One Of video. Someone said Plave is having a comeback soon, no? I got the notification today on YouTube. Someone said Plave's having a comeback in February. So I was going to look into it, but it's not rabbit hole right now. But I will look into that. I would love to see a Plave come back for sure. It wasn't that long ago they had Pump Up the Volume, so Interesting, very interesting. It might be nice to do an ATEEZ reaction video, but I don't know what I would do, whether it would be a One Tees episode or if I would watch some music videos for some of their discography that I haven't done yet. I'm not sure. But I could do something for that. And I will check the request form and see what's going on with that too. Oh, I was gonna look into Woods as well, right? I saw his name like on the wall in Kstars and I was like, oh yeah. So I need to look into him as well. And that's the plans for K-pop reactions over the next few weeks as well. Maybe, God, I feel like as soon as I say the words, people are gonna like descend on me. Maybe soon another Enhypen video. Can you hear the engines like running to the comments? It's been a while since I've done an Enhypen video now, and I miss them. I miss them a lot. And because my Twitter account is suspended, no one's been able to tag me in all the cute Enhypen stuff, so I feel like I miss them even more. So maybe an Enhypen video should happen soon. And that's the plans for that for now. Archive of our own, I'm still uploading the Shifting Seas. I do also have plans for a for me, it's quite angsty, actually. It's a very angsty story idea, which is going to be another ATEEZ fanfiction. In fact, I've got 2 fanfiction ideas for ATEEZ stuff once the Shifting Seas is done. So keep an eye out on that, and keep an eye out on my TikTok. I just post stuff all the time. I think in the next few days I'm due to get the season's greetings for ATEEZ, so I will be putting that on my TikTok as well. And that's everything. I've just been rambling, I know, but that's everything. That's BL and K-pop reaction plans, Twitter plans, archive of our own plans. Just enjoy the weekend, get back to work, earn money for the next concert. I am going to Stray Kids in July. I've got two nights, like 2 shows for Stray Kids that I'm going to. I'm going to that on my own. I will be making freebies for that, but that's a long way off yet. I'm not thinking about that until at least April, because that's not until July. If anyone wants to trade for these cards, just tell me. I do have a wish list of photo cards I'm looking for. I've just been too lazy to find the pictures and make it like an actual wish list to show people, but I do have cards that I'm looking for that I would trade these lucky draw event ones for. I have this spare, the 1 Mats spare as well. That's why I need to start posting on my Instagram more, because that's what I use for like group orders. It would be perfect for me to start doing trading and stuff with people, but I keep hesitating to start doing stuff like that because I don't have proofs to upload to Instagram so people can see that I am trustworthy. But at the same time, I'm not going to get proofs until I start doing it. So I need to break that cycle. Anyway, I will stop yapping. I hope you enjoyed me kind of going on and on about what happened this week and all the chaos and fun. Going through all the merch and photo cards and just everything. It's been great. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!